seems like we're all on pretty wildly different pages right at the stop. Dana's shaking her ass, and it seems getting pretty stressed out. Eve's looking up Trisha Paytas baby names.
Well, the names she was going to use if she didn't go with Aquaman.
Yeah, Trisha Paytas, I suppose we might as well start with the big news of the year, really. Trisha Paytas named her new son Aquaman.
Welcome, Aquaman, Moses, Paytas, Hackman, to this beautiful world in which your mother is the queen of the internet.
And most of the world is water. So Aquaman, you're set to inherit the earth.
That's so real.
Here's what I'll say. I love Trisha Paytas. I think she's really funny. Insert every single qualifier here that keeps me from getting doxxed. I think naming your child Aquaman is borderline child abuse.
Moses made a TikTok where he said that if you think that Aquaman is going to get bullied, it's because you're the bully.
On God!
Two sisters talk about dumb shit. We hope you like it. Cause if not, then we'll kill ourselves and the blood will be on your hands. Young old.
That
What?
you could say that
And
about anything.
you would bully Aquaman.
No one on planet Earth would not bully Aquaman if by your definition of bullying includes, wait, your name's Aquaman?
Robert, if you and Aquaman had been in first grade together, what would you have said to Aquaman?
In first grade, here's the thing. I might have liked Aquaman because I liked Aquaman. But as I pointed out, Aquaman isn't even Aquaman's name. Aquaman's name is Arthur. His nickname, his superhero name is Aquaman.
Well, maybe Aquaman's nickname will be Arthur.
Period.
Yeah, maybe he's going to be a superhero named Arthur.
So when the teacher's reading out names at the beginning and she goes, hey, let me know if anyone has any nicknames. They go, Aquaman. And he goes, I prefer to go by Arthur. She's like, I
Yeah,
bet you
and
do.
that if he wants to do that.
Dude, every year, teachers, when they do the thing where they're like, let me know if you want to be called a different name. Like, in probably like first, second, maybe even third grade, I would always say that my name was Amy. Like, I'd be like...
And not the Amy Hall's origin story.
Yeah, dude, that's the Amy Hall's origin story. I would like raise my hand and be like, oh, I go by Amy. And then they would be like, what do you mean?
Like Dana,
And they wouldn't
Amy.
honor it.
They wouldn't honor it? Well, then why even
No,
ask?
That's what
then?
I would always think.
But I
I'm
guess
like,
they're only going to honor it if it's
like,
something
well, if it's
like,
I go,
Christopher and like Chris.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did want Christopher
Then they'll
Chris.
do that.
If I had been like, I go by D-Dog, they probably still would have been like, no.
Well, if I was like, if they said Robert and I said, I prefer to be called Aquaman, they'd be like, yeah, fucking right. And they wouldn't call me Aquaman. That's how you know Aquaman's a step too far.
That probably is how you know, is like, would a teacher believe that that's
your name.
Yeah.
Would a teacher believe you're not fucking with them?
That being said, teachers famously are known for doubting ethnic students' names all the time.
Right.
Aquaman's not ethnic though. He's white.
I know, but I'm just saying that like teachers.
So in many ways, it's
doubt
social.
ethnic
It's kind of like
names.
balancing the scales in terms of like social justice and prejudice, where it's like, oh, we're gonna make you doubt a white man's name.
Okay, that's actually so real because I'm like, I feel like there is a type of white person where like the names have gotten so absurd that it does come back full circle to being like, you are giving your child the ethnic experience.
Hey, not too much on white people now. Hey, chill on these white people jokes.
You know what I mean?
I know
though?
what you mean. No, maybe that is it. It's like, yeah. Well, it's like Elon naming his son like.
Yeah, but in what way is that cultural
Exactly.
appropriation?
Well, I always think about.
True.
Right?
True.
Well, and the culture is what, like an AI computer program for in Elon's case.
Well, I was just saying you're culturally appropriating the experience of people making fun of your child's name.
Yeah. But you can, yeah.
And
I
that's
guess,
beautiful.
And that's
And that's
kind of nice,
beautiful. Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
I always picture like when it's time to like take the SAT and they give you that first sheet where you fill in bubbles for your name and the kid's like, hi, yeah, I don't have like the symbol for electric hydration
Right.
on my little sheet.
Right.
That was me trying to come up with a science term I didn't know.
That was a really embarrassing
I
representation.
don't
of
even
men
know
in
what you
STEM.
just tried to say.
He was basically saying like, you know, Elon's kid's name that's like XAV,
Oh, yeah.
whatever. He was.
It's going to be crazy when it comes time to the SAT. Well, you don't understand it because you never took the SAT.
T.
You get they give
you
you.
a sheet and you have to bubble in your name.
Your
with
name.
the
Yeah, no,
letters.
I have done that.
I bet you're worse at like bubbling than most people because you've done it a lot less.
No, the thing is that we took so many freaking standardized tests that weren't the SAT.
I did
Like
take
they
so many
loved
standardized
making you
tests.
bubble, bro. They were obsessed with bubbling.
They
Were any of you guys
really
in GATE?
bubbled it.
Were any of you guys like in the gifted programs?
Well, I think
no.
every school has their own version of some sort of gifted program at various times and various years I've been in and out. I know you
Apparently,
made it your whole thing,
I
probably.
was never in a gifted program.
I feel like it was
really-
self-selecting. Like if you wanted to take AP shit,
No,
or
that's-
you mean
no,
like
that's
as a
different. This is
child?
called like GATE.
I don't know what that
basically on
is.
TikTok, there's a whole conspiracy that kids who were psychic were put in. Never mind. I was getting too
Well,
far.
in TikTok, there's a whole conspiracy that kids in the gifted program were Labubu,
Who is
they were
the demon
Pazuzu.
Pazuzu?
the demon Pazuzu.
Okay, Eve, I have a roommate confrontation. Did
We
you
can't do
not
this again.
again.
We can't do this again.
Did you buy yourself a special extra good smelling laundry detergent?
No, I found those. They're from the gifting thing.
Oh.
I just dug those up from the closet.
It wasn't the what about the ginger mango one that's on the washing
That
machine?
was also in your closet.
Oh, Dana's
can
trying
use
to
it.
pick
I
a
literally-
fight left and right here.
I needed a deodorant, which I knew you had extra of from like a gifting thing that was in the. I didn't end up using it because I'm back on aluminum because aluminum
It
being
works.
toxic is actually fake news.
Well, you know what's toxic?
there's
Is
no
telling
real
people to be
evidence.
stinky.
There's also no evidence to support aluminum being harmful to you.
Dude, watch me and Eve in 10 years. We just have like bulging armpit
Well,
cancer.
But nobody else is like. But everybody else is. Okay. Anyways, moving on from that. I went to look for the aluminum-free deodorant in there, and then I saw a bunch of laundry detergents. So I was like, oh, well, I guess I'll just bring that upstairs, and so that's why I just put it on the washing machine for all to use. It's not my fault you didn't use it.
And then Dana had the worst faith reading of
Well,
that.
no, I just opened up the washing machine and I was like, smells really good in here. And I was like, that is not the normal
Well, because you've been
detergent.
using the poopy detergent.
Yeah,
Where it smells like
it's
poopy.
been just sitting there. Like nobody was stopping you.
Yeah.
I guess I just didn't have the idea to use a better smelling detergent. That's all.
You never
It
had that
wasn't an
eureka
idea.
moment.
It was just like.
Well,
You
regardless.
standing in front of the laundry machine for 8 hours straight, just like scratching your chin, and then Eve come by, puts detergent in the machine, and you go, "Why did I think of that?"
why didn't I think of that?
Well, going back to the gifted program, I do remember that I was put into the advanced reading group in 3rd grade. And by the way, when I thought I was set up for a lifetime of success. I thought that meant that it was going to be easy street.
You're like Harvard.
Turns out I got to read Chronicles of Narnia about 3 months before everyone else. Hey, not bad.
Period.
But I also, like yourself, I was kind of a fast reader. So I remember we were put off in the corner, the advanced group, and we all had to read a chapter. And I read my chapter before everyone else. And then to do a little bit, brighten the mood, I flipped the book upside down and pretended like I was very seriously reading it upside down. And the teacher ran over and got mad at me. And she was like, "Robert, are you just pretending to read?" And I was like, "Well, no, I already read for real." And she's like, "That's not what we do. You need to read that correctly. And if you can't handle it, I'll take you out of the group." That's what she said to me.
Dude,
Yo, well,
what
that's
Block
what
that out.
it's called. Fuck around and find out.
Yeah, I was fucking around. And she's like, "Now you're going to
You
be found
found
out."
To me, I'm like, that's why we need to be paying teachers more. I'm like, they can't be acting like that, man.
Have a
like,
little
we
bit.
we can't be having like, adults with no senses of humor working with children. That's so dangerous.
Also, I get that I'm in 3rd grade, but like, I'm not this dumb where I'm reading a book upside down, like for real.
Okay,
like, I'm joking.
Actually, have this theory that I'm like, okay, not to be like all like kids are just as smart as adults, but I truly think like most kids are as smart as adults, and what keeps kids from realizing their full potential is that we're all playing like roles. Like we're all like embodying identities, and part of the adult identity is I'm an adult, therefore I'm smarter than kid. But like again, like I always talk about on this podcast, I know so many adults thought I was smarter than them when I was 8.
I will never get through an app without you saying it.
I don't think that's true.
It is true, Robert.
No, I remember this when I was in whenever like I would always try to like talk politics to adults because I
Yeah.
thought it made me seem smart.
Yeah.
And then I would always be like, why don't these adults want to talk to me about Mitt Romney? And then I was walking around, and then it's because like, oh, I sounded so stupid. Like, imagine if like
No,
a
but
5th
they
grader
sound
walked up
stupid
to you.
too. Adults talking about politics also sounds stupid. Talking about politics makes you sound stupid because politics ultimately is stupid because we live in a very flawed system.
Yeah, we should just talk about smart shit like Paw Patrol and eating glue.
I just want to say that when you were like, I was a really fast reader like yourself, I could tell in Dana's head she was like, not as fast as me.
Well, because no one was as fast as me.
No, but I just knew that the second that happened, like I could hear your inner thoughts being like, no, but I was faster and I learned to read and I learned to read at a higher level sooner and faster.
Dana's always bragging about talents that nobody else has even thought of. She's like, I was the fastest reader. I could type more than anyone else in my 2nd grade class.
God. Okay, when we brought up the story about the date auction
Oh yeah,
to
so
our cousin.
Yes.
the cousin in question that I went on the paid double date with, we brought up this story to her, and she, first of all, she remembered it slightly differently. I guess the guys were like a lot older than us, like they were like in their mid to late 20s, and we were the age I said, which was 9th and 10th grade, respectively.
Yeah.
But we brought it up to her, and she had some additional memories to
First of all, Dana was a pick me.
She was a pick me.
which I had no idea. I did not recollect this.
The guys asked our cousin, like, "Oh, you doing any sports?" And she was like, "Yeah, I'm on track. My coach is not very nice," and like kind of explained about her coach. And they said, "He doesn't sound that bad." And Dana said, "Yeah, he doesn't sound that bad." And she said this was a core memory for her.
And then she also brought up how when we were kids, I challenged her to a reading speed competition
To see how fast they could read.
Obviously dominated because I am the fastest
Also
reader.
because you chose
but
the
also
competition.
I chose the competition.
And then did it again with a typing competition.
But what was also revealed is
Where
that
Dana crushed.
there were clearly a lot of adults around me who were enabling my insane behavior.
Because
were,
then when
they
Dana's
were.
cousin went to her parents and was like, "Wow, Dana reads so much faster than me," they went, "Well, she probably practices a lot."
Instead of being like, that's an insane skill to brag about, who cares? You shouldn't try to read fast. Dana's weird.
And she's a weirdo for proposing
and she's
the competition.
a weirdo for proposing the competition in the first place, which is what they should have said.
Yeah.
I would read fast, but also like I don't even think I retained it. Like I remember reading like the Lord of the Rings trilogy in like 2 weeks in 3rd grade, and I'm like, I literally think I was just turning pages. I don't think I think it just became very important to me to say that I finished the books because I'm like, I don't think I retained anything. I wasn't grasping
Aren't those
anything.
books like infamously have a lot of like filler that's like boring?
Well, the whole book's filler. I don't even know if you can call it filler because the whole they're written very
Because
like
they're not like Harry.
academically.
They're not like Harry Potter. They're like
Well,
I
not-
haven't read them,
Yeah.
but I just of what
Well,
I've
in
heard.
They're a little dense.
They're very dense.
In
yeah.
Harry Potter, it's like Harry went to the castle and he saw the ghosts were in the Great Hall. And in Lord of the Rings, it's like in the age of Dumbledore, beneath the Fontaine, they went to the place where once there was the whisper of the song.
Well, there's-
and then it would be the full lyrics of the song in Elvish.
Yeah, there's a lot of like Elvish songs. I will say, like in Lord of the Rings, 1 in every 3 words is made up. So if you're a kid and you're just trying to learn the English language through
You
reading,
don't know what's made up.
You don't know what's made up, and it's
Period.
also, I think it adds a lot of research component that like you don't necessarily you don't need all
Well, in
that.
defense of Lord of the Rings, I bet that that's part of what made it so engrossing to people was that it basically wrote as if it was a real life historical event,
Yeah.
and it was this fantastical
Well, Lord
story.
of the Rings had people learning Elvish and
Yeah.
like all of the other languages.
And the thing about Harry Potter is they said, "Hey, English, you're set."
yeah, they said if you know English, you're gonna love
Well, this is my theory about all fantasy worlds. I'm like, the key for me to how much I can enjoy fantasy worlds is like, are they made up of made up words or are they made up of real words combined in a fun way?
That's so real.
For example, Hogwarts. I know what a hog is and I know what warts are. And she just combined them. And I'm like, okay, even though we're in a made up world.
Hogwarts was Robert's nickname before he ever read Harry Potter.
That's
so
true.
he has a little hog with
And that's why I loved Harry Potter. I said they named a castle after me, and they said Hogwarts. Go back to your chores. I had a really tough childhood.
well, yeah, because you were reading upside down.
I was reading upside down,
Period.
and no one was having a laugh.
Yeah, that is crazy.
I also got a detention in middle school, and I was like really confused because to get a detention in middle school for us, our disciplinary process was you got minutes if you did something wrong. Did you guys have something like that?
No, we didn't really have that.
Well, we had minutes where it's like if you got 15 minutes if you did something wrong, and then once you hit 45 minutes, that was a detention and you have to do a detention. So I was told I had to go to detention and I was like, I don't even think I have any minutes, but I just kind of went to the detention because like, what are you going to do? You know,
Right.
people seemed really serious about it. And then after the detention, I realized that like there was another kid in my class with the last name Schultz. He had 45 minutes and they had me serve his detention.
Dude.
Bro, wait, that's a life hack for him though.
Well, yeah, he really
Dude,
figured it
yeah.
out.
Yeah, he's like, throw Robert under the bus.
And I remember
for my
eventually
minutes.
later in the year, I did get 45 minutes. And then I was like, well, I already served a detention for the other Schultz's minutes. Can I skip this detention and just do time served? I could tell these were deals that had never been brokered in middle school history before.
You were raised by lawyers.
And wait, did they say
so that makes
yes or
sense that
no?
you'd be
Well,
trying
yeah,
to
I think that, well, they said
crack a
yeah.
deal.
I mean, again, I'm like, I did serve a detention I didn't deserve. So therefore, I guess I wouldn't need to serve the detention I did.
So it worked.
It worked. Again, I'm
Okay.
making plea deals with like an overwhelmed math teacher.
Got him.
Gotti.
Got him.
Well, do you want to know what Aquaman Moses would have been named if not Aquaman?
Yes, let's go through the alternate.
Well, the main
Paytas,
one
Hackman
is
names.
Water Snake.
water snake.
So Eve, you know what's crazy? What sucks about this is if Eve, it took so much for Eve to even admit that Aquaman was weird as a name because she loves Trisha Paytas.
out there. It's definitely out there.
Eve is a pick me for Trisha Paytas.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I
Hardcore.
said her name she could have named the child Poopy Pants Panis, and I would have been like, it's camp.
It's Cam.
You guys don't get it.
Okay,
Yeah.
here's the real test for how you know that Trisha Paytas' baby name Aquaman is a bad, weird name. If David Dobrik had a child and named it Aquaman, Trisha Paytas would be raking him over the coals. She would be criticizing him, talking about how she's setting that child up to be bullied and made fun of.
Oscar would be like,
Perhaps.
that's pretty problematic to name your kid Aquaman. I mean, even Aquaman's name was Arthur.
Even Aquaman's name was Arthur or so.
Look, that could be true.
Also, I'm like, you know what? If you're gonna name your kid something crazy and you have a normal first name, like Trisha,
That's
you
so
should have to
real.
change your name.
I agree.
Step up to the plate then.
Yeah.
I think she
If it-
would.
Huh?
I think she would.
Well, she's not going to.
Well, anyways, there's a conspiracy that and people think this about like Nara Smith and stuff too, but that the names that they tell the public are their kids' names are not actually their legal names, and that they put out fake names to protect their children's privacy. First of all, I think Trisha 100% has named her kids Malibu, Barbie, Elvis, and Aquaman. Like,
I think
just
that's true.
point blank period.
Yeah.
But also, like, she shows their faces. Like, what would be the point
Of protecting their
of
privacy.
protecting their names if you already show their faces?
Well, almost like you don't need to tell us their names at all. You know, forget telling us a fake name.
Right.
In theory, if you're protecting their privacy, you
Yeah.
never even mention it.
But I think the fake name conspiracy is silly because it's like, no, she obviously means these names with her chest.
But I think like the fake name conspiracy started around the Gwyneth Paltrow Apple time.
Okay.
Like when she named her kid Apple, which at the time was like a crazy name.
Which
and it's like
nowadays,
on
I guess
hindsight,
it's
I'm like,
fine.
Apple seems
Which
really normal.
I guess in favor of Eve's argument, maybe in
Yeah.
15 years, Aquaman will just be like the new Eric or the new Muhammad.
See, and that's
Just-
and then the other thing I said that they
Yeah.
were like blasphemy was that all of Jen Beta's names will be silly.
Which maybe,
no.
but I don't think so.
Because
But they will have more silly names.
There will.
than previous
no,
generations.
I
That's
literally
probably
don't think that's
true.
true.
I think they'll have a higher percentage of
Percentage of
silly
silly
I
names.
disagree with that. God, you have to remember that, like in the 1910s, like they were naming their kids like Leonidas. You know what I mean? Like they had their weird. The rich people always had weird names for their kids forever.
I guess.
Leonidas?
Leonidas.
Leonidas?
What?
This is
Do you know a
crazy.
Leonidas?
King Leonidas from 300.
Oh.
That was a real name in ancient Greece, but it feels pretty weird to you though.
Do you think that we should name one of our kids Leonidas?
Fine, I admit it. I wanted to
Bring
name
it
our kid
back.
Aquaman.
Oh,
I had
you were
Aquaman,
jealous.
and
So
now I'm
like,
pissed.
wait,
Had
so then if you
Aquaman.
want them to seem rich, you should give them a weird name then.
Well, also, I would also say this.
Right?
I don't think the habits of Trisha Paytas are indicative of a larger societal trend. I don't think because Trisha named her kid Aquaman, we can extrapolate that like more and more people are going to name their kids
You
weird
don't think
things.
Trisha's the quintessential millennial and everything that she does is, you know,
Everything she does is
par for the
entertaining.
course?
But I like Trisha Paytas. I saw her live. I like Trisha Paytas. Please don't kidnap my grandma.
But people have been saying this about millennials that they give their kids weird names.
Yeah.
Like Nora Smith with like Slim Easy and Rumble Honey and Whimsy Lou.
Nora Smith is technically Gen Z. She's young
Oh,
as
that's
fuck.
true.
Yeah.
But you know
But
what I
think
mean?
it's
Like
millennial
other like
coded to be
like-
current in 2025.
creme brulee or like
Right.
You know like
Yeah. But those, I would say that those are still outliers relatively. I would say that in any generation, in terms of name, like guess what? There's going to be more people named James born this year than there are named creme brulee.
But don't you think like
I think people
percentage like the amount of creme
people
brulees
used to be so
versus
weird.
James will be higher?
I think in the 90s, didn't people have like weird names? Like, I feel like every generation
Has weird names.
Well, every generation has a weirdos. Like, in every generation, like 10% of the population are weirdos, and those weirdos give their kids weird names.
Also, we're just hearing
Right?
about it now. Like crazy people in the 1700s.
They didn't have the internet to
yeah.
tell you about the weird name they gave their
Yeah.
kid.
I guess so. And do we think that how do you bully someone for being named Aquaman? Like, what does that look like?
Dude, your name's Aquaman. That's fucking weird.
Oh,
Yeah, that's like
You don't need to like
not
construct.
I guess I was trying to think of like a mean
diss about being
or like
Aquaman.
Aquaman more like stinky man.
Well,
I
here's
don't
my
know.
thing, and I've
You know what I'm
always
trying to
thought
say?
this. things are only lame if you are ugly and lame. So like if Aquaman is really freaking hot and cool,
Then it doesn't
people
matter.
won't care that he's Aquaman.
Right.
And I think that's
No,
true.
I think again, this was my point to Eve. All right, if we know what Eve was like in middle school, if in middle school there was a kid in your class named Aquaman,
You'd be like, you pretend to be best friends with Aquaman.
you would mock
You'd be like,
Aquaman.
Aquaman's my best friend.
You'd be like, oh my god, hey Aquaman, and then Aquaman's sitting by himself in the
Like,
cafeteria.
Aquaman, aren't we best friends?
You would mock Aquaman relentlessly.
Okay, but I told the story before about how I did that too close to the sun to where I actually ended up doing good friendship
Right,
deeds.
like you decorated a loser's locker.
Yes, okay. So we had a designated. Oh, blank is our bestie, right? Okay, me and my friend, and it was a thing in middle school that when it was somebody's birthday, you would decorate their locker, and as a bit, I was like, I'm going to decorate his locker. And I did, but nobody else showed up to decorate the locker. So if I didn't decorate the locker, nobody would have decorated the locker. So it's like at the end of the, and he was really happy that I
Sometimes
decorated
you
his
commit to a
locker.
bit so hard, you
And it's
become
like, so it's
a
like
good
at
person.
some point,
Yeah.
at what point did I go from, oh, he's my bestie to doing a good deed?
I know 100%. And it goes to show you can't really do
Period.
anything ironically, actually.
Yeah.
Because you are just doing
Because you're just
it.
doing
At the
it.
end
Eve's
of
like,
the
I'm gonna
day.
bully the shit out of this kid by forming a lasting emotional connection.
Yeah.
Well, just real, yeah, and this was my next point. Yo, if you're scrolling a dating app and you see someone's name is Aquaman, you're gonna. It doesn't matter how good they look. You're not gonna swipe
No,
right.
if they're really
But
hot, you'll swipe right.
I said,
No,
first of
even
all,
if they're
if they're
hot.
really hot, you will swipe right because you're so sick of seeing ones that if you see 110, you don't get. Also, I said I wouldn't think that Aquaman was his real name. I would just think that was a name he put.
But then as soon as you found out it was his real name,
but I would think that would actually make me think higher of it because I would think he was more of a loser
If he named himself
put
Aquaman.
himself, if he put a fake name as Aquaman. But if I learned his parents named him that, I'd be like, oh, well, that's not like you didn't choose that.
Robert's on Reddit looking at baby names.
well,
now.
these are interesting in terms of our point and really my point.
Okay,
that
but
like,
there's more names that.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
oh
Say
yeah,
it.
please do.
But they're not like official. Oh, we would have done. Water Snake was like the most official.
Yeah.
If it was not Aquaman, it would have
Okay.
been Water Snake. But other names she said she likes. The most famous is Papermate.
Papermate is wild. Like naming like the company that just makes pencils.
Yeah,
and
Papermate.
folders. That's
Okay.
crazy.
Other ones she said she liked are Lemon.
Lemon's
Lemon's not
fine.
that bad.
That's
Okay.
what's crazy. Is like
Lemon-
now we hit one where I'm like, lemon would have been
is
fine.
Squeezy and Squishy.
You can't name a child squeezy or squishy, dude.
Dude, Squeezy is really cool. I would love to be. You would love if I was named Squeezy.
It would be a lot. You would
I would
experience
be
a lot of
adorable
hardship.
if I was Squeezy.
If-
If I was Squeezy. If I was Squeezy Donnelly, I literally
think
think
if
I'd
you
be
were
so
Squeezy
Squeezy
famous.
and you asked to go by Amy, they would respect it. They would go.
They would go,
"Okay,
oh
that's
yeah,
fine."
we get it.
If I was Squeezy Donnelly, dude, can I change my name to Squeezy? That's awesome. I love Squeezy.
Squeezy Donnelly, the little girl who thinks she can type faster than anyone else.
Well, I would be made fun of because
Would
I was
people,
made fun of.
would
'cause
people
I'm a
be
loser?
meaner to you or nicer to you though? Because they
If I
would
was named
feel bad that
Squeezy?
you were named Squeezy.
No, because I would have been like really. I don't know. I think
they would have
there's no-
squeezed you more.
Maybe.
You think?
And I think that's a real, that would not be fun.
No,
it
it wouldn't. It
like
wouldn't.
on the
I
playground in
definitely think you're right.
kindergarten.
A name that invites strangers touching you is not
That's
good.
true. That's true.
Well, I was gonna be named "Put Your Stinky Fingers in My Mouth," and I'm glad my parents didn't go with that.
Put your stinky fingers in my mouth, Schultz.
Yeah,
And
dude.
you were
If,
confused with the other.
with the
Schultz
other
for
Schultz, and you had to
detention.
serve his
Yeah.
detention
And you're
time.
like, no, I put your stinky fingers in my mouth.
yeah.
He's John.
He's
John.
John. I
Yeah.
put your stinky
If
fingers
Trisha
in my
named her kid,
mouth.
"Put Your Stinky Fingers in My Mouth," Eve would be like, "Well, I feel like if I saw someone on a dating app named "Put Your Stinky Fingers in My
He
Mouth."
was super hot. You're forgetting if they're a 10.
I literally
You're
think if they
forgetting
were
if
a
they're
10,
a
I
10.
literally think if they were a 10, but their name is Aquaman, that would be, you wouldn't. You'd be like, this is
I
a
will,
weird
because
person.
You don't- like, I'm literally telling you right now, yes. If they
No.
were a 10, it doesn't matter if their name was "Put Your Stinky Fingers in My Mouth." If they're a 10, you don't care.
We're now, by the way, we're now at a point though where even if they are a 10, it's debatable if their life's going to be good because their name is Aquaman.
But their life will probably be pretty good because
Yeah.
they're going to be raised with like decent wealth and you know,
I think
access
Aquaman Moses
to
will be fine.
privilege.
Yeah, and they're going to be heavily featured on their mom's social media platform, and that works out for all kids. So yeah.
They'll be fine.
I am interested to see the children's memoirs.
I
and
think they'll have a lot to
tapes
say.
on their upbringing.
Okay, another one she liked was Rainbow Sherbert.
That's not that bad.
What's
I
crazy
guess.
is when you
Those are
start with Aquaman,
nothing
you start
seems
at
that bad.
Water Snake, and then you go to Rainbow Sherbert,
But
and
you
suddenly you're like,
did, you
Bro,
did
I
have a
might like-
reaction to Squeezy and Squishy.
I might like Water Snake more than Aquaman. I literally think Aquaman is fucked up. I think that's fucked up.
Okay, wait. Benihana.
that's crazy.
That's crazy,
mean,
but
'cause-
then
because-
at least you go by Benny though.
Yeah,
I guess. But then if people are like,
And,
oh,
short for
Benny is that
Benjamin,
shit.
and they'd be like, no, it's short for Benny.
Benihana.
Here's my thing though with Benihana. If Benihana, the teppanyaki grill, were to go out of business, then I actually think it's a fine name. The problem is that it's the name of an existing franchise.
I don't think I've ever been to
Hibachi. It's not
Benihana.
teppanyaki. I think it's hibachi.
Well, that's why, yeah.
But it sounds good.
It's like they throw the food in your mouth.
Yeah, they like grill stuff in front of you.
I remember that craze. I liked that fine. Think about that though, is like for me at least, there's never really enough food, and it's never really, don't get to eat it in the way you want. Like to me, I want my food so I can wolf it down. Instead, I gotta like wait like one little morsel at a time whipped into my mouth.
I think the spread out nature of it, it's more of like eating as an activity.
Yeah.
And I think like if you want to just sit down and have a normal meal, it
Benihana's
really
not
doesn't
the vibe.
do the trick.
Man, I thought build your own pizzas was going to take the world by storm. And it's not unsuccessful, but I literally thought it would be everywhere. I thought the days of someone else building your pizza for you were done.
Yeah, you were like, no one else will ever build my pizza for me again.
I'm only going to build my own
you
pizza.
thought that they were empowering a generation of new pizza architects.
Yeah.
Right.
I was so frustrated getting someone else's pizza, and I thought this was just the box I'm being put in. And now I'm like, oh, I can build my own.
But we're blaze heads. Like we go build our own pizza from time to time.
From time to time, but also more often, in terms of our pizza consumption, we
eat a lot of other people's pizza that they built for us.
yeah,
for sure.
which I guess is a
Wow.
weird way to phrase it, but really we eat pizza.
No,
a
you
lot of-
eating pre-built pizza.
Yeah, we eat a
Well,
lot
you're
of
eating
pre-built
pre-built pizza.
Patrick Schwarzenegger, famed investor in Blaze.
I think Blaze got all the celebs because LeBron James is also a big investor in Blaze.
So clearly you weren't alone in thinking that,
That it was going to take off.
yeah, building your own pizza was the way of the future because celebrities are right there with you.
But I also thought Pizza Press would be bigger than Blaze, and I was just wrong. I thought Pizza Press would be bigger.
Pizza Press.
And that's
is
why you lost
famously-
all your money investing
Robert and
in
I,
Pizza
before we
Press.
started
Yeah.
dating, but I liked Robert. We went to Pizza Press
When he had bad shoes.
when he had bad shoes.
Yeah, you could just say before we started dating.
Wait, it's
And
like
he
it's
made
like
me what?
BCE, but it's like
Before bad shoes.
before good shoes.
BGS.
Before
BGS.
good shoes.
Before
Robert
good shoes.
BGS. But he made me laugh so hard when we were in line at Pizza Press that I spit water at him.
you spit it through your
I
nose,
spit it through my
Oh.
nose.
and I'm like,
Wow.
I'm crushing.
Yeah,
It was probably like he did one of his bits that's so tired now.
Yeah.
probably.
I
don't
hate
remember.
when Robert does like a bit that he does us on the daily that I roll my eyes at every single time, and then he does it to somebody new that's never seen it before, and it gets them.
Whenever Dana and Eve's
And
mom
I'm like,
visits,
oh come on, he does that every day.
Yeah, when our
crush.
mom visits,
I
Robert
crush.
crushes.
When we go to like any sort of big family
Yeah.
event with like their
Because they
cousins,
don't know that
I
it's
crush.
tired material.
I crush.
They have no idea.
They haven't gotten sick of Robert's shit yet.
I'm fucking
Yeah.
killing, dude. I'm killing. And they hate it. They can't
Yeah.
stand it.
Well, Eve can't stand it.
Because I'm like, this shit is so. If only you knew how stale this shit was.
Yeah. But
Okay, wait, also, I wanted to talk about someone suggested one time that we do cosplay as all three Schuyler sisters with Robert as Peggy, obviously.
Hilarious.
And us as either Eliza or Angelica.
And Biter's Alexander.
And Biter's
obviously.
Alexander, obviously. But what's really funny that I think maybe a lot of people don't know, I don't know if you guys are Hamilton fans, but this isn't in the musical. But if you go to Peggy Schuyler's Wikipedia page, in the footnotes, it says that Alexander sat with her on her deathbed. Like she and Alexander was also really close with the third Schuyler sister, and he definitely fricked her on her deathbed. He sat with her while she died.
Alexander
And definitely fricked her into heaven.
Alexander Hamilton fucked so many Schuyler sisters they had to cut one out of the 6-hour musical.
Oh, yeah, isn't there another one?
That's
the
what
one
we're
talking
saying.
about. That's what
Oh,
we're saying.
not Peggy.
No, there's
Peggy.
Angelica,
Peggy's
Eliza,
Peggy's like not
and
it's-
Peggy.
in the musical. It's and Peggy. Peggy's like not in the musical.
Okay,
But
okay,
he'd
okay,
be
okay.
freaking her.
He was with her
He'd
too.
be freaking her.
But yeah, she doesn't really really have like a main role in the
No,
musical.
but it's
No,
just
no,
like so
real life.
funny that like in the context of the musical, they didn't even have room for the fact that he also fricked Peggy.
They had a whole thing about like he loves Angelica and
clearly
Eliza.
there was a love triangle between him, Angelica, and
But
Eliza.
actually it was a square.
But it's actually a love square.
Well, he was a fuckboy.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
He was a
that
mad fuckboy.
He ran through all of the Schuyler sisters, and one of them, while she died,
He fucked her to
he
death.
fricked her to death. That's what
fucked
we're
her to
saying.
death.
That's all we wanted to say is that Alexander Hamilton actually fricked a third Schuyler sister to death, and the musical didn't even have room or time for it.
Yeah, they're like, we can't get
Maybe
into
that'll
that.
be in Hamilton too.
Dude, oh man. I mean, here's the thing: if Lynn plays Hamilton again, I'm down for Hamilton.
Yeah.
too.
Well,
But
there's
he's
all
dead.
these.
So
Well, there's
how
all
would we
these.
do Hamilton?
Well, there's all these clips of like other actors
Zombie
playing Hamilton.
Zombie Hamilton.
There's all these clips of other actors playing Hamilton, and they're like objectively better singers, but subjectively, it's like
But they
part
don't have
of
the Riz.
The Riz
They don't have
is he's kind of
Lynn's
bad.
Riz.
Well, what I always say about Broadway, Dana and I were talking about Broadway musical math, and Broadway musical math is that a 10 out of 10 musical is legitimately one of the most impressive, amazing pieces of art you can see, and a 9 out of 10 musical is the most embarrassing piece of shit you can ever sit through.
Like-
The margins are so thin.
A 9 out of 10 musical is like truly unbearable. And then Robert was saying, and then a 2 out of 10 musical goes full circle to this is amazing.
This is amazing. And I would
So-
think like Cats. To me, like Cats
Yeah.
is so like what the fuck that it comes all the way back around to like this might be great.
This is amazing.
Hamilton is a 10 out of 10. It rips. Sorry.
But then, like, most of the 9 out of 10s, like, that you are currently on Broadway, like, it's Pippin, it's Chicago. Like, they're actually not good.
Well, it's Dear Evan Hansen. I had so
It's
many
Dear
people
Evan
tell me when the
Hansen.
movie came out, they're like, oh, it sucks because the musical's really good. It's like, oh yeah, the musical's that's just like word for word the same thing as the worst fucking movie I've ever seen.
You saw
I
the
never.
movie?
You would have seen that.
I didn't see the movie. I'm joining the bandwagon.
Okay, so
But-
you're just assuming it's shitty because other people have said
Well,
it's shitty.
yeah, there
I bet he's lying and he did see it.
I would say the Broadway musical to worst movie you've ever seen pipeline is a
Strong.
well-established
Yeah,
one.
it
It's
is.
quite strong.
It's strong.
But that's the risk with all musicals in general. It's like either this will be the most amazing, crazy, cool thing ever, and if it's one like smidgen short of that, it's so awkward and it sucks. And don't ever make me do this.
Wait, who were you saying, like, the TikToker you're obsessed with right now? That she makes, like, musicals of everyday
I'm not obsessed with this person. There's just I've seen a couple of her TikToks and the songs get stuck in my head. It's a girl who just sings songs that sound like they would be in musicals but aren't. I hate that I have to sing it. But
Do you wanna do it?
she'll just do songs where she'll just like be like sing and she'll the women of the upper are kind. Always wearing dresses and they're very, very kind. Yeah, so as soon as I started singing a fake song from a TikTok musical that doesn't exist, the camera cut out, and fair enough, fair play. That's on
But
me.
when Robert told me that he was obsessed with a girl who sings this on TikTok, I literally in my head was like, she better not be hot.
And was she chopped?
I don't know. I haven't seen her, but I pray she's not.
She's a perfectly good-looking person. I don't want to, like now. It's like you put me in this trap where I need to like, yeah. But I would say this, the appeal of her videos is not look how hot and sexy she is. How about that?
I think that's what I meant. Like, it's like she can be like, I would never wish ugh on another woman.
Well, she's not ugh for sure.
Well,
Again,
we were
she's
joking-
good-looking,
we were
but it's like that's
joking
not the
about how
appeal.
It's like Robert was joking. He's like, oh yeah, like a guy who just recently really got into like tadpole videos, but you realize like the girl who does the tadpole videos just has a massive rack.
He's like, yeah, I'm really into like fishing content these days. It's like a girl with a massive rack and there's a fishing pole in the background when you squint and zoom in.
Yeah.
But no, I just got into a weird, she just sings a weird earworm of a song about women of the opera. And again, the thing about here's the thing: to make a song that would fit in a musical, you just take a good song and make it worse a little bit, and then
And boom,
there you have it.
But I think a lot of it too is just it's singing. It's like taking a Wikipedia page and like doing it in a sing-song voice. Really,
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, we were
Scissors were invented in 1772, like that, you know.
or they would be
that
like
would be-
1772. Mr. Scissors, have you come to the town? I've come to the town and I bring news. I'm making an invention to kill your blues. Bring me the paper, I'll split it in twos. With what? With what? With these. And then a woman walks out and she's the scissors and she's wearing a silver dress.
Oh, period.
And she and
I'm gonna split you, sir.
Okay.
With
Okay.
my dual blades.
Okay.
With my dual
With
blade.
my dual
Sorry.
blades.
Anyway, when do you
And
think
then there's
scissors were invented?
the guy in town who makes the knives, and he's like, he's anti
Dude.
the scissor
He's like,
invention.
that's just two knives put together. I can do that.
Well, he would have kind of
By
an
two
evil. He would
knives.
have an evil song where his song would be like, it would be like him and his like boredom, and you go tradition. Tradition.
Yeah.
There's a way we do things. It's the knife way, sir. And then that's right now I
It's
may
pretty
be
good.
cooking
Oh,
a
but
little
you did
bit.
steal Tradition from Fiddler on the Roof.
Is it?
Yeah. That's
Tradition?
a song called Tradition. Tradition.
Oh.
Tradition.
oh,
Yeah.
I thought I was cooking.
No.
I thought he was cooking.
I find out the
Tradition,
Scissors
Tradition,
musical
but
was
it-
like
in the
it won a
same
Tony in like
tune.
1998, and I'm just completely memory holding it.
Anyway, when do you think scissors were invented?
They were invented in 2019. I remember
So
they
crazy.
really took off during the pandemic.
When people were crafting.
period.
Anyway,
Do we have topics?
yeah, we've been going through them this whole time.
Okay, also I will say this. I bought non 100% cotton underwear for the first time a week ago, and I swear I already have a yeast infection.
Why did you buy them?
Why? What? Why'd you put your hand on your head like that?
Well, no, it's just like
I'm allowed to share an experience.
No,
Well,
yeah,
I
that's
just want to
great.
know why you bought them.
Because they were cute. Victoria's Secret pink had 10 for 40, which was an unheard of deal to me.
Yeah, that's why.
like $10
That's why. If it's too good
for
to be
40
true, it's
10
'cause it
underwear
is.
for
There-
$40.
you
which
bought
is-
underwear. It's like
which is just
50 for a buck.
Wait, but just like also to be clear, when I was in middle school, which was the year was maybe 2007 or something, they were like 5 for 25. So they were like, they're cheaper now today, even with inflation.
Do they not have like the cotton lining?
They have the cotton lining, but that's what I'm saying. I think like
It still doesn't
I
work?
literally think you have to wear 100% cotton underwear.
Hmm.
But maybe it's just in my head. I did also have a psychosomatic yeast infection for an entire year in college.
Clip that.
I
Clip
thought I
it.
had a yeast infection and I didn't. And I was at college and I was just like, wow, I'm just living with this yeast infection and there's nothing I can do. Go to my gyna back home. She goes, I've had a yeast infection for a year. She goes, okay, great. She looks at me and she goes, I don't even know how to tell you this. There's no yeast here. She's like, I think you're imagining it. And then when she said it, it was gone and I had no more symptoms.
That's crazy.
You had a psychosomatic yeast
I had a
infection?
psychosomatic yeast infection for an entire year.
That's a musical.
That's a musical.
Yeast infection, the musical. Anyway.
Anyway, here we're talking about how there have always been weird names. I just pulled up 18th century unique 18th century names.
Yeah.
Amias, Hezekiah,
Oh.
Nehemiah, Philemon,
A lot of these are from the Bible.
and then reason, prosperity,
Mm.
increase.
I mean, that's big manifesting energy. Like by naming your child Increase, it's like you're hoping for increase in your life.
So that is kind of like there's always been kind of weird names. You know what I mean?
So Aquaman really is not.
It's par for the course.
Yeah.
Aquaman's
History
unique.
repeats itself.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, again, I guess, but whenever there's like a piece of popular media, I suppose there's always an amount of children named after that popular media. Famously, Game of Thrones. A lot of people were named like Daenerys,
Khaleesi.
Khaleesi,
Yeah.
Harry Potter. But a lot that again, that's a real advantage for Harry Potter.
You
is like
know
mostly
Hermione's
normal
a bad
names.
name because like no one was named Hermione. Like that's how you know it's an ugly name.
Yeah,
That's
well,
you.
well, no,
Yeah,
one,
no
no
one
one wants
really
a
was
stupid
named
fucking
that.
Like
mudblood name.
Luna was probably like
Yeah, 'cause
real
it's a good
uptick in
name.
Luna. Yeah.
Luna's
But
Luna's
probably
always been
not
a
very
good
many
name.
Chos either.
I don't know. There might be some Chos.
But they were already Chos.
But you have to be Cho Chang. You can't just be
Yeah,
called Cho.
Cho.
Like,
Yeah, I'm Cho Williams.
like just Cho is
I'm Cho
not
Smith.
it.
I'm Cho
Smith,
Jones.
Cho Jones.
Also, 'cause it sounds
Cho Schultz. We could name our kid Cho.
Better than Aquaman.
Oh wait. Do you
Also,
wanna-
that is a name that I could see a bully path, which would be Chode.
Choda. Yeah. That's
But
a
the
But see,
whole-
that's what I'm saying
yeah.
with Aquaman is there's no like pun.
Because you don't need a pun. Because his fucking name is Aquaman. And I call... You don't have a single friend named anything like Aquaman. And you never have. Just because it's Trisha Paytas, you're inventing these scenarios where it's like, I bet if I met Aquaman, I would take him through the garden. And I would pick flowers for him. And we would be best of friends.
Okay.
That's how Eve talks off camera, by the way.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. But Eve's like, well, how would you even make fun of a kid named Aquaman?
I'm just
you,
saying
Eve,
there's
would make fun
no-
of a kid named Aquaman.
There's no puns.
You don't need a pun. The whole reason bullies do puns is so they can take a regular name and make it lame. If your name is Aquaman, you don't even need to do shit. You can just be like, what's up, Aquaman? Also, this is another thing. Aquaman is made fun of in the superhero world. Other superheroes are like, Aquaman? You talk to fish? What do you fuck fish? What are you gonna jerk off with an octopus head?
And you're the one that would bully Aquaman, just like Moses said.
It's not the one. Also, that is such a BS. Like, well, if other kids are gonna bully Aquaman, then they're the bullies. It's like, well, what? Yeah, anyone would bully Aquaman.
Okay, I do think. Okay, so I had a TikTok really viral that was basically just saying that like if your child wants to get rid of their unibrow, you should really let them because it's like a huge.
And Alex Warren,
favorited it. Also, shouts out Alex.
Icon.
which is crazy.
But friend of the pod. Just kidding. Enemy of the pod. Just kidding.
Frenemy of the pod.
Frenemy of the pod, but doesn't know we exist.
Yeah.
Well, knows I
does
exist
know you
because he
exist.
favorited
He
this
does know
TikTok.
you exist.
But I do think if your kid is being bullied for something that is easily like something you could easily prevent them from being bullied for, is it your responsibility to help them with that?
Well, this is my problem. Is like you're naming your kid Aquaman for you. Because you think it's funny and unique and builds your online brand in an interesting, funny way.
But the reality is you don't have to go to school.
Yeah, you don't have to go to school. As
you don't have to go to
Aquaman.
school.
And you know you're making it hard to go to school.
Genuinely think she just likes it though.
But that's the same.
That's what I'm
thing.
saying.
That's
Like,
exactly what
it's
I'm
literally
saying.
saying
Okay,
like you
fine.
like it, but you don't have to deal
You're
with
not
the
thinking
consequences.
about them as like
you're not enduring the
right.
consequences.
Well, and also I do think it's hilarious imagining him as an adult man like applying to jobs. And it's like
I'm Aquaman. Also, you as a kid don't get the benefit of like when you're going through your life, you don't have like a little bubble that goes, I am the son of Trisha Paytas, who we all think is iconic online.
Right.
You don't get that benefit.
right.
yeah.
Do you think that
Well,
she's gonna
maybe-
do private or public school, or do you think she's homeschooling?
Oh,
Has she talked
Jesus. If
about
she
it?
homeschools, may God have mercy on their souls.
I think they do go to like probably like a private preschool or something like that.
Okay.
Also, here's the deal. If you're Trisha Paytas's kid, you're getting bullied regardless. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like the other kids in your class, you're gonna have a unique go of it, even if your name is Devin or John. You know what I mean?
Do you
To
think so?
Dude, yeah, man. Also,
But if they're going to
A private school
yeah,
where
a
everyone's
private school
parents
where
are
everyone's
celebrities.
parents are
Like,
celebrities.
yeah,
like
if
private
my
school.
dad is a wide receiver for the Rams and your dad he owns a hedge fund, we're not gonna look up to Trisha Paytas's kid. Again, I like Trisha Paytas. Free my
No,
grandma.
I think that's a valid
Amongst
hypothesis.
Also, we went to Trisha Paytas Live. We looked at the people there. Dare I say it's safe to say they were largely a theater kid group? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, definitely.
The people there were the people who got bullied at their high school. That's who people. Even the people who like her are people who got bullied in high school.
Wait, can we talk about farting? How Gen Alpha allegedly just farts and no one makes fun of them or like thinks it's funny. And I would just like to say I don't believe that completely, because I think if a really ugly, gross kid farts, people are still making fun of them.
So you think the hot people are farting and it's fine?
I think the hot people are farting and it's fine. But I think like again, this is a big source of TikTok discourse is Gen Alpha teachers will get on TikTok and be like, just so you guys know, kids don't even care when each other farts anymore. They just let it rip because they all know that like it's just a natural body function and no one laughs or thinks it's funny.
That's not true.
And I'm like, I don't believe you. But also we were all saying a little bit of stigma in regard to farts is a good thing, because otherwise the world would be so stinky.
Right.
If everyone actually just like never held in a fart, it would be so unbearable to be in any public place if no one was holding in a fart.
That's also, it's like when people say things, that's also one of these, I just don't buy the premise when people are like, kids today don't even think farts are funny. It's like they've thought farts were funny literally forever. There's legitimately, I feel like, cave paintings in like Shakespeare's plays.
Shakespeare was a huge thought bodily functions were funny.
If it's a bunch of like first graders and they're sitting in class and the teacher is making an announcement about how the principal slipped and fell and he broke his hip, so we're all going to be extra patient with Mr. And then a kid farts super loud and wetly, they're all going
I
to
love
laugh.
for you to add in wetly.
Well, yeah, that it adds a little bit of.
No, I think like sometimes people on TikTok and whatever just be fucking making shit
yeah,
up.
like you're lying. You're lying.
They just be making shit
Did you know
up.
that kids today don't even care when you poop in the palm of your hand and whip it as hard as you can?
Because they
at the
know it's just a
blackboard?
bodily function.
Because it's just a bodily function.
But I think ultimately too, it doesn't matter what the internet discourse changes over time, but you know what doesn't is people and how they interact in real life. And I was thinking about this too because our cousin and our cousin's husband. Our cousin's husband is a teacher,
Mm-hmm.
and our cousin said something like, "Oh, like aren't Gen Z kids like nice? Like don't they like not bully each other?" And he was like, "No, like
Right.
of course they're mean. No, they're high
Yes,
school
each
kids. Like
generation can only
every-
be so different. Like people are people.
people are people.
at the end of the day.
People are laughing at farts. People are being mean to each other." People are getting bullied for being named Aquaman. Like
Yeah.
that happens in every generation.
that happens
Every
in every
generation.
generation. Like it's like people don't change. What changes is the internet discourse and also the kind of lies that people want to believe.
Yeah, everyone just says like, "Oh, it's actually totally different now." Also, they're on the reverse of that. People love to be like, "It was so much harder when I was growing up." Oh, when I went to school, it was so much harder. And it's like, I mean, it's always literally talk to someone in 8th grade right now. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
ask them if they're having a baller time.
That's so real.
Like,
I
so
doubt
kids-
it.
Everyone's really accepting of everything you do, right? It's like, no, I'm in 8th grade.
Yeah.
No one is accepting of anything anyone is doing because we all hate ourselves and it sucks.
Also, I'm sorry.
You-
Every time Gen Z mobilizes on the internet, so that's what I see Gen Z is when they mobilize on the internet, it's again to convince a new celebrity to kill themselves every day. That's what it is.
That's beautiful.
And that's kind of beautiful.
And I love it.
And
And
we
just
love
let
it.
my grandma go.
And let
and
his
I will
grandma
join
go.
your movement.
Do you think it's true that they can't read?
No.
I used to see so much content from teachers. Again, maybe they're they're engagement farming, but so much content from teachers being like, no one can read. The kids can't
Here's
read.
what I'll say. It does seem like the iPad specifically
Oh.
has invented a new way for parents to be negligent that doesn't help their kid learn. Like previously, parents had to read their kids stories. Like there was only so many ways that you could keep your kid occupied. So I would not be surprised if, and also I think they've done studies about this, but like literacy rates are declining in the U.S.
Okay, so then that is true that they can't read.
But literacy rates are declining relative to what? Because I know for a fact, like 100 years ago, like half the population literally couldn't read at all.
So true.
So it's like we're obviously
So
better
in
than
relation
that.
to what?
In relation to what? I don't know. Also, like, here's the deal: reading is like, who do you think is reading all these books? You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like,
100%.
who do you think's reading ACOTAR? Yeah,
Right.
some of it's like 40-year-old ladies. Some of it is also just like.
Why did you say that like it's a slur? It's not bad to be a 40-year-old lady.
For, 40-year-old
And it's
L word.
ACOTAR. It's an abbreviation. It's like a cord of thorns and roses. So you wouldn't say ACOTAR. Does it make sense?
Okay, maybe Aquaman would bully you. It's ACOTAR, not
No,
ACOTAR.
No, but Robert's
No,
right.
it's,
Like,
no,
people,
it's ACOTAR.
people are reading.
You're just saying the
books.
abbreviation. A court of thorns and roses.
I think you said-
ACOTAR.
I think you sound ACOTAR.
Whoa.
No. We'll cut it.
Get
No,
his
we're not
grandma.
cutting that.
Get his grandma.
We're not cutting that.
Is that?
We're not cutting it. Get his grandma.
We're not cutting
I
it. Get
guess
his
that would
grandma.
objectively be a funny thing to get quote unquote canceled for. I have to be like, I'm sorry that I said someone was
ACOTAR.
ACOTAR.
We're leaving that.
Get his grandma.
When you correct me on minutia relating to Sarah J. Maas books, I'm gonna call you ACOTAR.
Bruh.
And there's nothing funny about that. And my grandma let her go.
I do think
my
you just
grandma
like
go.
created a new kind of enemy that you've never been exposed to before.
No, I love that. I love that. This was all a circuitous
Maybe that should
way.
be like the fandom name, though. It should be like ACOTARs.
ACOTARs. I love that. Do you guys like that, ACOTARs?
I think it's kind of nice.
I mean, as an ACOTARd,
Yeah, you like
think
it.
it's cute.
Okay.
But it's like kids read they read all the time. They just
Yeah.
read different stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like books are like, who do you think is buying all these like big giant fantasy books? Like YA books have never been more in. Like who do you think is buying the new Hunger Games? Like what are we talking about?
I mean, I think on the internet, everything is overblown for clicks.
That's so
like,
real.
It's
That's
like also
so
if I
real.
go, I'm a 3rd grade teacher, and it seems like literacy rates have declined approximately 1%. Kids are reading slightly less than they were
That
last
doesn't
year.
get,
That doesn't-
like,
that's not But when
you
you
said
say
like the
when you go-
situation is
when you
dire.
go, no one can read.
Right.
They're 17 and they can't even read Bob books.
no, that's how
Like-
they be
like,
sounding
yeah.
though. That's how
Yeah.
they, but TikToks are always like, I don't think you guys understand how serious this is.
Right.
They don't know what letters are.
Okay,
Like,
I
do you know
think
what I
Also,
mean? Like
I
that's
also have to say this
Yeah.
real quick. It's like, hey, guess what? Then maybe it's because their teacher is fucking making TikToks in the back of the room.
Yeah, like,
that's
maybe go-
true.
That's
Maybe
your
go
job.
work on engaging with your students
Also,
instead of making
here's my
TikToks.
deal.
That's true. Maybe they
you're-
suck ass at
yeah.
teaching.
If you're if your students can't read and you're their teacher, that's a reflection of you, not the
Period.
students. You're the one to teach them to read.
That's
what?
key.
It's like if a Subway sandwich employee made a video where it's like, no one is eating sandwiches. No one is getting a sandwich. They're just waiting. They're standing in line.
It's like, excuse me, I'm trying to order my sandwich.
And they're like, no one is eating a sandwich anymore.
I mean, look, you make a great point. Maybe if the teachers spent less time making TikToks and more time teaching them to read, then they could read.
And they
But
can
I
read.
will also
they
say-
read. They like to read.
There's something here about like just addressing this as a media literacy lesson right now, young ultimators. But like just knowing things can only go viral if the person makes the thing they're talking about seem really dire and serious.
Yeah.
Like if they don't start their TikTok with, you guys don't get how serious this is, the TikTok won't go viral.
That's so
and so
real.
just understanding that when you see that, like it's not that you guys don't understand how serious this is. It's you guys won't understand that this is maybe kind of a problem unless I say it's really serious first right now.
Yeah, everything has to be
Like-
extreme.
Yeah,
in order
speaking
to
of
be
not going viral, I posted a young old promo, co-posted, and we got like no likes. We got like
Yeah.
14 likes in like 2 hours.
And that's like really brutal.
And we thought that, oh, well, maybe it's because there's text in it, so I deleted it, and then I
Oh.
just reposted
How
it.
is it doing this
It's
time?
doing even worse.
Wow.
Maybe you need to be like, you don't understand how serious this is.
Yeah.
No one is listening to
To
young
young
old.
Also, you
old.
could do, you know what you could do to get more likes? You could be like, rest in peace. Like the 3 of them passed away.
I mean,
Yeah, you can pretend that we
they're all
died.
dead.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, I've now deleted it once and reposted, so I don't think I can just keep deleting and reposting with different messages.
You can't.
Or you could just like post it. You don't have to delete it. Just do another one where you say we died.
We fucking died.
for contact.
Yeah.
Also,
These
Dana
3
was
have
supposed to
died.
co-post tomorrow. She's gonna post a picture. I think your
Yeah.
picture will do well.
My picture will probably do better than yours. I don't know if it'll do well.
I enjoy your guys' recent young old promo with the mic that you made.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Those are good.
Yeah, we
like
did. We went to
those.
Universal City Walk with a mic that Dana made, and we just did some casual young old promo.
I also have another sketch in mind that we're gonna need you to film for us.
Nice. And we still have to do our what would you do?
Oh yeah,
have
we
to
have
do
to do
our What
our
Would You Do?
personal training
Yeah.
video. Yeah.
And then we're off.
And then we also have to dress up as the Skylar sisters, and Biter gets to frick all of us.
And then
How do you
I'm
dress up
Peggy,
as
so
the
he
Schuyler
fricks me to death.
sisters?
I think we just
Like-
dress up in like 18th century garb.
that's like so intense.
The Schuyler sisters.
You don't care about the podcast.
Okay, I'm sorry. If you
I'm
get
just
the
kidding,
if
just
you get the
kidding.
garb, I'll put it on.
I mean, I would obviously design the costumes.
Yeah.
Robert, would you be happy to wear? You could be Peggy on her deathbed specifically, so we could do kind of more of a
Yeah, and then Biter will be
hospital
like
dressing
laying on you.
gown.
I was like, yeah, Alexander. with
My
Peggy.
favorite moment in Hamilton is at the beginning song where they go, "He moved in with his cousin. His cousin committed suicide." It's like that makes it sound like he drove his cousin to commit suicide.
When we were in the Soul Cycle themed Hamilton class and they played that, I literally just stopped myself from bursting out laughing during he moved in with this
Well,
cousin.
because
his
we're
cousin
always like,
committed
what did
suicide."
Alex do?
What did he
Alex,
do?
what did you do?
You move in with. Here's the thing: if I moved in with someone and they immediately committed suicide, I'd be like, "Oh God, it's on me.
It's me.
I
That's
gotta
all
look in the
me.
mirror."
Yeah.
It really does sound like it was because of Alex.
I mean, he's the common denominator. Also, it does seem like everyone he lived with died.
Well, that's what they were trying to like. The tale they were trying to tell was like, oh, how sad his life is. Everyone
Yeah,
around him
but
is
it's like-
dying. But it's like, who's the common denominator?
Right.
here?
It's
Well-
seeming like it's Alex's fault.
Well, the mom dying of like dysentery or whatever, sure, but like he moved in with his cousin. His cousin
committed
said, "I'm out.
suicide.
Yeah.
I'm out."
That's awfully fishy.
Yeah.
Well, I bet it would suck to live with Alexander Hamilton. You're like, do the dishes, and he's like, I will write 15 pamphlets about the dishes that need to get done. And I'm
That's
like,
so real.
I'm like, I'm out.
Dude.
He'd be a terrible roommate.
That
and
actually
that's why
really-
his cousin couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah, I'd commit suicide if Alexander
Yeah.
Hamilton was my roommate.
Every time I was asked to do chores as a kid, I would go on a diatribe about how I didn't want to do the chores instead of doing the chores. And yeah.
Every time I
Period.
was asked to
Yeah.
do chores as a kid, I did the chores.
Oh.
I hated it because I'm also just like, my thing with the chores is just like I had so many chores to do, and then like I moved out, nothing fell apart, so clearly they
Right.
weren't necessary. My parents were big like, you should do physical chores because it's good for your maturity process. So they literally had me moving pieces of wood from one giant pile to another giant pile.
Oh,
And
so
then
chores that didn't even like accomplish
Yeah.
no,
anything?
it did nothing. And then when I was done, they would go, all right, now you need to move some more wood from the pile you just stacked back to the location of the previous pile.
What
Maybe
did
they
you
just thought
do?
you were Tub.
Huh?
Yeah,
Maybe
but they
they
thought
thought
you
you
were
were
fat.
tough.
They didn't want to say that.
And they
They were
wanted
trying
you
help
to
lose
move.
weight. They were trying to help you slim down.
I mean, I bet that was also why. I bet that was also true because also when in middle
What?
school,
Really?
Well, yeah, in middle school, my dad was trying to like get me to exercise. He was trying to like make me exercise.
Yeah, he thought you were fat.
Probably. Well, he thought I was lazy.
Why else would they make you move wood?
Well, the moving wood because even when I got like
The wood
in good
piles
shape,
are still there also. Like
they're
when I've gone to
massive.
visit.
Dana's seen them.
I've seen them. They're crazy.
still there. It's not
Did they
necessary
make you
wood.
move them?
Huh?
They did not make me move them, no.
Wouldn't
No.
that be funny though?
That would be deeply funny. Dude, that would be deeply funny.
The moving of the wood.
No, but what did you do in your mind like when you moved the wood?
I'd be like, this sucks.
So you didn't like come up with like fun little games to amuse yourself? You just like literally were sulking the
I
whole
was
time.
pissed the whole time. What do you mean, what game? I'm moving
I don't know.
wood.
You were like okay, like I talk about. I love the Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella with Brandy and Whitney Houston. Famously, it's my favorite thing in the world. But there's
Famously.
this song called "In My Own Little Corner, in My Own Little Chair," where Brandy is waxing poetic on how when she's confined to her little corner in her little chair, she can imagine that she is all of these cool different things, like a princess or whatever. And so I was wondering, when you're moving wood,
Was
did you
I singing
have
in
any-
my own little corner, in my own little chair?
Yeah.
He was just going this
Okay.
I was
himself
just
over
like,
and
I
over.
hate this. I mean, I just would whine all the time.
I just know that like Lin-Manuel would have been writing like a musical about moving wood in his mind.
Okay, again,
Right?
I also think, dare I say, you're overestimating just how freaking flamboyant I was as a youth. Where I'm
So
set
why
to
didn't
move
you
wood and
write
I'm
a-
writing a musical and singing Brandy. No.
All right, I just wondering.
It's probably thinking
Not-
about sports.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you weren't. You said you weren't.
You
into
said you were
sports
thinking about how
until
much
later
you
in
hated
life.
moving the wood.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that was all there was to think about.
Honestly, it's giving Clark Kent.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I had no superpowers.
it was a slow task.
There's a great moment where Clark is in distress through some Smallville emergency and he sprints home using his super speed. And as soon as he like speeds up to his dad,
And
his dad
he
just
looks
goes,
visibly upset.
and his dad is like barely glances at him and goes, "Grab a sack, son." I was like, "Grab a sack, son." He's in trouble.
the minute he sees him, he just sees his farmhand. He
That's
doesn't.
all
he's
Paul
like,
sees when he
oh
looks at
yeah.
Clark.
Well, I like to think like those moments where Clark like gets attacked with kryptonite, and then like he's like got like the crazy kryptonite poisoning, and the kryptonite finally gets taken away, and Clark just hyperventilating, recovering from the kryptonite, and Paul leans over and goes, "Hey, so when do you think you can put a new roof on the barn?" And Clark's like, "I thought I did put a new roof on the barn." He's like, "Yeah, I need another. Sorry. Also, we have no money."
Also, it's like, yeah, Clark is working 24/7, and yet they're still fucking broke.
Again,
like how?
I do think Paul Kent is clearly a terrible farmer. A terrible
I
farmer.
think I said that he's a gambling problem, and then Dana said, "When is he going to be gambling? He's always in the farm." And I was like, "Well, he could be like doing online gambling, but they don't really have phones like that."
Yeah. This is 2000.
But it would make more sense,
Yeah.
as to how the farm is constantly broke if he was
He's
doing
placing terrible
online
sports
gambling.
Well, they'll also introduce characters who are supposed to be like these big city mean people who don't get it, and they'll like look to Ma Kent and they'll be like, You're really intelligent and you're wasting your potential just being on this failing farm." And you're supposed to look at them and go, "Get back to the city, you freak." But instead, I'm like, well, she's very intelligent.
Like,
She
they
does
make
seem to
some
be
points.
wasting her potential
Yeah.
on the farm.
Yeah, there's a lot of points being made at all times about the fact that Moss does seem to be wasting her life on the farm.
But we always talk about this. If I did have superpowers in a Clark Kent scenario, I wouldn't use them. That's my thing. If I legitimately had superpowers, you'd never know it. I'd never use them ever.
That's so odd. Robert insists that he wouldn't fly. I would fly if I could fly.
Why wouldn't you fly?
Well, I'd be paranoid that if I was flying, my powers would go away mid-flight and I'd fall to my death.
But-
like if they
Okay.
arrived out of nowhere, couldn't they go away out of nowhere? So I wouldn't want to be up too high.
They don't
Well, but
arrive out
for
of
him, it
nowhere,
wasn't
though.
out-
They
he always
slowly-
had
they- Also, they
them.
gradually kind of emerge.
But then if I like flew once, I'd be like, oh, and I wouldn't fly again.
Okay, so you're a
I
freaking
think
scaredy
that's
cat.
not true. In the same way that when you learned how to walk, you weren't like, "Oh no,
Like, what
if
if
this
I
goes
can't?
away?
What if I can't
Like,
walk
that's
and then I
so
fall
dumb.
down?
Me after running once, they're like, "Robert, are you ever gonna run again?" I'm like, "No, no."
What if I lose my ability to run mid-run? Nothing.
Well, it's kind of like, but I think about it this way: like, if I had the ability to like phase through matter, I would never do it. Because what if I like get stuck inside like a wall?
I feel like you're like thinking about these things too much.
Also, I'm like, if you could phase through matter, yes, you absolutely would phase through matter.
I would never phase through matter. I would never phase through
I
matter.
would never phase through matter.
I would never phase through matter. And if I was in a Breaking Bad situation, I would turn myself in, and I would start the rehabilitation process in my community. I would try to be like, how can I get my job at the school back? How can I make the students trust me again. That's what I would do in Breaking Bad.
He would be working on regaining the trust of the students.
I would be like, Skylar, how do I make this relationship work?
Yeah, you as Walter White would be the worst show ever.
Yeah.
That being said,
because
we
there
are
is no
still-
show.
I want to say
There's
we're
no
still watching
show.
Smallville, and it seems like there's, from what I can tell on TikTok, an uptick in other people also rewatching Smallville because of the new Superman movie that came out.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's got Smallville fever coming by. And
Yeah.
again, that is, we've talked about this actually every single time we've put a mic to our lips.
Yeah.
But they are so well cast. Again, the whole show works because whenever you look at Tom Welling, you go, that's
fucking
Superman.
Superman.
And whenever you look at Michael Rosenbaum, you go, that's Lex
And whenever you
Luthor.
go look at
Flex.
Lana Lang, you go, of course, everyone in this town is obsessed with you and
Yeah.
wants to stalk you.
Yeah.
It is crazy though, because just knowing the lore, it's like she'll say things like, I don't want to just be like stuck in Smallville. And it's like,
She's
in the
got
long
stuck in
run,
Smallville.
your arc as a character will end with you just stuck in Smallville.
It's really
You're destined to be
sad.
left behind by Clark.
Also,
But
to me,
she
I'm
can
like,
dream.
but it's so odd. 'cause
That's
I'm like,
true.
dude.
And
okay,
that's why it's a beautiful show.
Yeah.
Because she can fucking dream.
people not leaving their hometowns. I'm like, you could just like walk out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, what do you mean you're not leaving your
Well, this
hometown?
was a wait what about
Yeah.
a guy who never left his hometown. And he just casually revealed it's because there's a bomb in his brain that goes off. if he
That's
leaves his
really
hometown.
funny. That's deeply funny. But that's like
Pretty good wait what.
that is what it seems like with like certain, you know, people who never leave their hometown. I'm like, are you an NPC and like will you
Well, most
explode
people
if you
never
walk
leave.
outside of city limits?
Most people never leave the zip code they're born in.
Yeah,
I
which
mean,
is crazy.
to live. I mean, most people
Yeah.
live inside the same zip code they were born in.
Wild to me.
I mean, not us, but we're weird. But again, I'm the weird outlier.
Well, yeah, we obviously are weird. We're the people who are naming our kids something like Aquaman.
Well,
Not
I
Aquaman,
think
'cause that's taken,
Aquaman's
but-
who's Aquaman's?
What about Papermate or Benihana or Squeezy and Squishy?
Again, to me, I'm like Papermate and Benihana would both be less bad if those companies went out of business and they were just like random.
Well, that's how I feel about naming my kid Kaiser Permanente. It'll be fine if the other Kaiser goes out of business.
I mean, if we nationalize healthcare,
then
it
you can
will.
name your kid
I just
Kaiser.
need to verify. I just
we
need
can
to,
finally name our kid. Why am I in favor of universal healthcare so that we can name our kid? Kaiser
okay, how about this? How about this? I name my kid Ocean Master, also known as Orm, also known as King Orm.
Actually, I think
Who is-
Ocean was one of the top baby
Well,
names.
Ocean Master is because that's Aquaman.
Also, why'd you say my kid?
Whoa. Whoa.
Just kidding.
No, but Ocean. Because
Just kidding.
Dane, after
They
screaming
said
as
they
loud as she can for
considered-
real.
they
I was
considered Ocean as a name, but it was too common.
But-
like it was
but-
one of the top baby names. that led
Mr.
to-
Scissors, new on the town. Scissors are slicing, don't you frown.
Bro.
I was saying Ocean Master because that's the name of Aquaman's nemesis.
Oh.
And I was saying, what if we have a kid and we have a kid and
Oh,
we
so
name
we
him
can
Ocean
set it
Master,
up to be
and then we
Aquaman's
and then we
nemesis.
tell him that Aquaman's getting everything you should get. You're even more powerful than Aquaman.
Okay, I do think that's actually a lot with us, Robert, where I'm like, it'll be really interesting when we have kids to see what other celebrities like in LA have kids that are our kids' ages and if they will go to school together and if they will be like
I
nemesis.
like how we say other celebrities. Me after like getting 4 likes on a Instagram post. I'm like,
Yeah, but like, well, you know, we're on the up and up, okay? 4 likes today, 10 likes tomorrow. And you heard it here first.
I'm legitimately I'm at 6 likes in 20 minutes.
Does anyone want to say, do we want to say goodnight? Does anyone have anything else?
It's
they
also
wanna
one of
talk
those
about?
things where like you go viral so much and you think it doesn't hurt your feelings when you get 6 likes.
Yeah.
And
No,
then
it
I look
does.
at it
It
and I'm
hurts your
like, I feel like I'm in middle school and my name is Aquaman. I'm just like all alone and no one wants to play with me.
I think Aquaman's gonna be really popular and no one's gonna bully him.
That's a really nice thing to speak over
That's
his
really
life.
nice of you to say. Would you say that if Aquaman was the child of any other celebrity?
Probably not.
All right. Well, you know, that's the thing about Eve. Whenever there's like any sort of hypocrisy or anything,
She
or like
doesn't
double
care.
standard, she doesn't care because she'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'm probably being hypocritical. I'm probably having a double standard."
Again, own it. Okay.
I would stick up for Poopy Pants Fetus. I'd be like, well, if you're bullying, that's because you're a bully.
So
Because you're a bully.
If they get bullied, that's because the other kids are bullies, not
But-
because Poopy Pants is
But
a
if
bad
Alex
name.
Warren and Cover had a kid and they named him Poopy
I'd
Pants,
be
you'd
like, that's ridiculous.
prison,
Yeah.
prison for all involved.
Does anyone else have anything they would like to add before we end the podcast?
Well, I would just like to add that before this podcast, Dana was looking for a cord and she was freaking out.
Nobody
even though-
cares about this.
Go ahead, though. Finish off.
Go ahead though. Oh, thank you. Like you were just like, hey, just so you know, just FYI, no one gives a shit about this.
Say
Everyone hates
something
this.
not interesting. Okay, go.
Just go.
Well, no, and Dana couldn't find the cord, and then I immediately found the cord, and I go, "Oh, here's the cord," and Dana goes, "You probably hid it there. You probably put it there."
He did.
And then Eve was like,
Why would
"Yeah,
you
I
found
bet
the
he hid it there."
cord?
I found the cord because I looked. I like how when I don't help look, it's because I'm negligent and a
not
fool.
only is this not interesting,
when
it's
I
making
do
me
look-
resent you.
When I do look and find it,
Not only is it
There's
boring
some
as
plot.
fuck, it's also making her resent you.
Good
night,
young old.
Aquaman is a good name.
If
you
Stay tuned for Scissors the Musical.
Go like Robert's post on Instagram. Good night.